யாழ்வார் பெண் பிள்ளையாய் ஆண்டாள் பிறந்த திருவாடி பூரத்தின் சீர்மை ஒரு நாளை குண்டோனே உணர்ந்து பார் ஆண்டாளுக்குண்டாகில் ஒப்பிதற்கும் உண்டு. Yesterday we looked at keep calm and Narayana. That is actually the underlying message of all the pastorals. Throughout the entirety of the text, Andal, she highlights how Narayanan is the one that is going to take care of us. And so that first pastram is seen as a summary of the entirety. And so I hope to bring out that meaning in all of the pastrams along with the daily needs. Before that, I mentioned to you guys that I will give the daily, I will split up the introduction over the first 5 days. I'll split up the traditional introduction over the first 5 days. And I will also provide more and more information throughout the 30 days through my introductions. So by the time this ends, I hope you guys will have a clear understanding of who Andal is and the entire context behind her existence on this planet. This pastram that I just said, Periyarvar Pen Pillayai, it refers to Andal as the daughter of Periyarvar. As Swami mentioned yesterday, Periyarvar is one of the Arvars. He was known as Vishnu Chittan, he who had the Lord always in his heart. She was born as his daughter. But what is the specialty of that? When one is born to a person, they will give you all of their wealth. Usually you get like all of their inheritance from them. Periyarvar, being a poor Brahmin, did not have really any inheritance, except for the biggest wealth in the world. He had Perumal. He had the stories of the Lord which he was able to tell his daughter. And so while raising her, he always told her all the stories of Krishna raising her. In this situation, so Andal had learned everything from Periyarvar. In fact, she had known everything else. Everything that she knew was only from him. மெய்மை பெருவாட்டை விட்டு சித்த கேட்டிருப்ப தம்மை உகப்பாரே தாமுகப்பெருன்னும் சொல் தம்மிடையே பொய்யானால் சாதிப்பாராழினியே. In her Nachiyar Tirumari, which is another one of her compositions, she clearly accredits all of what she knows to her father Periyarvar. And so what did she do? She learned all these things, stories from Periyarvar, and then what ended up happening? She decided that she wanted to enjoy Krishna's Anubhava in person. She was not satisfied with just hearing about him in the stories. She wanted to see him. So she went to the temple, Madhapatra Sai temple in Shiviliputtur, but she did not feel satisfied with that. She felt, why is this laying stone not talking to me? Why is he not engaging with me? And so what she did was she decided she will do Anukaram, or she will pretend and play. Being a 5-year-old girl, she thought, I'll pretend and play like Krishna and the gopis. It is well known in the story of the Ras Leela, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that when Krishna, he disappeared during the Ras Leela, the gopis all felt really sad. And so they started pretending to be Krishna amongst themselves. One of them would pretend to be Krishna, one of them would pretend to be Kalinga, and they would play games amongst themselves, pretending to be Krishna and the other people in those stories, so that they can feel not bad that Krishna has left them. And so Andal, in the same way, so that she can think of Krishna, she pretends to do Anukara of a vratam. It is well known to the fact that when Krishna was in Vrindavan, he was causing all sorts of mischief. And so obviously, most of the parents did not want their daughters to always be around him and always be friends with him. And so at one point, they decided, all of the elders of the town decided that let's not bring our daughters out. Let's let them stay at home. We will not let them go play with Krishna. It was at this time, luckily enough, that it stopped raining in Vrindavan. And so then the elders had another problem. Oh no, what are we going to do about this rain? And so they went and see the astrologer of Vrindavan and they asked him, oh, what are we going to do for our rain? And so at this time, the astrologer says, you guys need to do a vratam. You need to make sure that all of the unmarried girls of Vrindavan, they do this vratam. Funnily enough, I don't know if any of you guys have seen this cartoon. It's called Little Krishna. In that Little Krishna cartoon, actually, the astrologer will be none other than Krishna disguised as the astrologer. In Srimad Bhagavatam, that is not the case, but it's a funny thing to note here. So it is in Krishna's favor only. So he says that all of the unmarried girls have to come together and do this vratam. They have to pray for this rain to fall. So what happens because of this? They decide that, okay, we will all get together and they will do this. But the astrologer says, we need a leader for them. Best leader is none other than Nandagopan's son, Krishna, the one that they've been wanting to keep all these girls from all along. And so it is at this time that they all come together and they go about with this vratam. Andal, in her Thiruppavai, pretends that she is going about this vratam And she pretends this in such a way that she says that, okay, I am going to go wake up Krishna so that we can go do this vratam. And that is what you see in all 30 pasrams. So now we know the context of how the story of these 30 pasrams come out in the form of the vratam. Technically, Andal did not do any vratam. Andal believes that the Lord will take care of her without her having to do anything. It is a misconception to think that we will have to do something for Krishna to give us something in return. So Andal did not perform any vratam, but she pretended to do this as a part of her playing and a part of her enjoyment of Krishna Anubhav. In this context, in the second pasram, Vayattavai, she enlists the rules of this vratam. I will first go through the rules of the vratam, and then I will tell you guys how we can break those rules. Because the title I've given for today is Let's Break Some Rules. So let's go ahead and break some rules. First, let's talk about the pasram. I have put it up here. I will refer to the lines. Please take a look at it so that you can better understand the pasram. வையத்து வாழ்வீர்கள் நாமும் நம்பாவைக்கு செய்யும் கிரிசைகள் கேளீரோ பாற்கடலுள் பையத்துயின்ற பரமன் அடிபாடி நெய்யுண்ணோம் பாலுண்ணோம் நாட்காலே நீராடி மையெட்டெழுதோம் மலரிட்டு நாம் முடியோம் செய்யாதன செய்யோம் தீக்குழலை சென்றோதோம் ஐயமும் பிச்சையும் ஆந்தனையும் கைகாட்டி உய்யமாறி எண்ணி உகந்து ஏலோரெம்பாவாய். I might put off Yellow Empire for another day as well, because it's in all 30 pasrams as you guys have seen. Maybe you can take the time to think out for yourself what it means. Vaiyattu vaalveergal. Vaiyattu vaalveergal means she's calling upon all of the people that are living in this world. Vaiyam means this world. Vaalveergal. Usually if you ask somebody, how are you doing? They will tell you, I'm doing good. However, if you come to my college campus and you ask somebody, how are you doing? Why are you asking? Let me tell you all about my struggles. They will go on and on about all the stress that is happening in their life, all the exams that they have to take. There's a funny story. If you ask somebody in Tamil, you ask people if they're Saukyama, are you doing well? If you ask Saukyama, the answer is supposed to be Saukyam Dan. Why are you asking? Let me continue. Let me tell you all my sorrows right now. The person who asked how are you doing will not be happy that they asked. They wish that, oh, why did I end up asking them how they are doing? But Andal here says that this means that they're living well. It does not seem that we are all living well, but that is because we have not understood that Krishna is the one that's taking care of all of us. Let us think for a minute how we are doing well. Of all the planets in this solar system, which one did we have Krishna Avataram on? Of all the planets in the solar system, which one was Andal born and she told us these pasrams? Even if you go to Vaikunta, was Andal born in Vaikunta? Was Krishna Avataram happening in Vaikunta? Did Narsimha Avataram happen in Vaikunta? Did all of the wonderful acharyas that exist here, was that in Vaikunta? Do we have the opportunity to see the grace of the Lord through nature, through all of every single action of our life? Is that existent? We only have that opportunity here in this world. We are living well because of the grace of the Lord. And we are the ones that are lucky for that. Let me tell you these rules. She's referring to all of us. So you have to think, oh, I thought this vrat was only for some people. No, it is for everybody. The grace of the Lord is for everyone. It is a misconception to think that the grace of the Lord, that this is only for this group of people. It's only for Indians. It's only for Brahmins. It's only for this certain community. That is not correct. It is for not just humans, the plants, everything that's living. Let me tell you the rules that we are going to follow. I'll list out the rules. For this vratam that we're doing, I will tell you. We are going to listen to the words of Narayana. We're going to think about the one that is laying on the milky ocean on the serpent bed. We're going to think about him. I will get back to why she refers to this avatar as I then later on say the rules. We will not eat ghee, we will not eat milk. That will be a problem because I presume that Swami has prepared Pongal today. If Pongal is known for specifically ghee, I think we might not have to eat that if we follow these rules. Not kale niradi. You have to bathe in the early morning. I know a lot of people bathe at night. Of course, mostly in the Vedic tradition, we bathe in the morning. But a lot of people tend to get lazy and not bathe in the morning. Not kale niradi. Early morning, she says, before sunrise. We will not wear makeup, eye makeup. We won't wear flowers in our hat. Andal seems to be breaking that rule today. மலரிட்டு நாம் முடியும் செய்யாதன செய்யும். We won't do what our elders have not done before. செய்யாதன செய்யும் தீக்குறளை சென்றோதும். We won't speak gossip. We won't gossip about we won't gossip about others. செய்யாதன செய்யும் தீக்குறளை சென்றோதும் ஐயமும் பிச்சையும் ஆந்தரையும் கைகாட்டி. We will give donation to everybody. ஐயமும் பிச்சையும் ஆந்தரையும் கைகாட்டி. And thus we will think about the wonderful way we are going to reach the Lord. These rules aren't hard. However, we can go ahead and break all of them. I will list out how we are going to break all the rules with an example. Of course, you may think, but Andal has said we are going to follow the rules. I'm not speaking anything out of my own intelligence. Everything comes from the traditional commentaries of Periyavachan Pillai, Arayamanawala Perumal Nayanar, and I. Jananyacharya Swami, who are three wonderful acharyas that have composed wonderful Vyakyanams, commentaries for these works. And beyond that also, I have listened to all these arthams from my acharyan, who has specifically, even today morning, I had the opportunity to talk to him. He gave me some interesting ideas as how we can break some of these rules. So first off, neyunnum palunnum, we won't eat ghee and milk. What did Krishna eat in Vrindavan? He ate only ghee and milk. And so in that sense, what are we to offer Krishna here? Ghee and milk. It is said that when we have ghee and milk, the reason we are not supposed to have ghee and milk according to Andal is that those are both called bhogya padarthanga. They are considered that which will give us enjoyment, that will make us more fat, bigger belly, right? But rather, we don't want to enjoy for ourselves. If we are giving it as to the Lord and we are taking it as prasadam, it is not in our own enjoyment. The problem here with neyunnum palunnum is the ahankaram, to think that I am the one that is enjoying, that ego is the problem, that mamakaram is the problem, that it is mine. Like I said yesterday, the sharing of the Kit Kat, that is the problem, that I did not share it, that I thought it was mine. If I were to think it is the Lord's and then take it as the grace of the Lord, that is again in the thought process of paraman. That is where this comes in. Eating the milk and ghee is also considered the smarana of the Lord if it is taken as prasada svikar. Neyunnum palunnum not kale neeradi. I'm saying we are not going to have to bathe. You may ask, oh, why? I don't understand that. Traditionally, actually, here in the commentary, not kale neeradi means we will bathe. We will bathe in the ocean of qualities of the Lord. But I'm saying we don't have to bathe at all. For 14 years, Sri Rama was in the forest. At that time, there were two people that accompanied him, Sita and Lakshmana. It is known, it is seen in the Ramayana, whenever it is said that Rama bathes in the river and does Sandhya Vandanam, which is a Gayatri Upasana that you do right after the bathing, it only says Rama. Lakshmana was also standing there. What was he doing? Was he also bathing? It does not mention that. It is clearly seen throughout the Ramayana that in a lot of places it will be say Rama, Lakshmana, Sita walked. Lakshmana did this. He will very clearly show who has done what. But whenever it comes to bathing and doing Sandhyavanam or even sleeping, Lakshmana's name will never come up. Was he not bathing? It can be assumed that Lakshmana instead was focused on the gunanubhava of the Lord, instead serving the Lord. So hence he had no reason to sit there and waste his time bathing or doing anything else. Of course, bathing is important if we are to say when serving the Lord in the temple. However, the point here is that we don't have to stick to these rules. We don't have to be so focused on the rules of doing Sandhya Vandanam or any such upasana, when we can be focused on the qualities of the Lord. Lakshmana was always in the service of the Lord, knowing that Rama was the one that was taking care of him. He served Rama continuously for those 14 years. When in the service of the Lord, we should be fully focused on that. We don't need to think about, oh, am I doing this rule right? Am I doing that rule right? I don't have to tell you. The Hindu religion has millions of rules. Manudharma Shastra has been carefully crafted by Dharma Shastra Rishis. There are so many such rules, books that have been written. However, all of those are called Samanya Dharma. They are all called the basic rules, guidelines. They're just guidelines. The main thing is for us to live in the qualities of the Lord, to think about the Lord in the service of the Lord. At that time, all of the rules fall away. By doing that, that is not only applicable to some people, that is applicable to all people. We should always be thinking of the Lord. Not she brings up 2 points. of her decorations, of wearing the eyeliner, and also of wearing the flowers on her head. It is clearly stated in the commentary that she means this in the sense that, oh, I will not wear it for myself, but if Krishna comes and puts it on me, I'll be fine with it. I will be okay with it. In saying that she's going to do this vrat, she's not strict about these rules, because more important than the rules of the vrat, it is important to be there for Krishna. It is important to know that he's there for us and take his grace with happiness and gratefulness. And so then she takes these flowers and wears them. She takes the eyeliner and she wears it in the thought process that, oh, this is Krishna Prasadam, he has given it to me, or I am going to offer it to Krishna and it will give him happiness. மையிட்டெழுதோம் மலரிட்டு நாம் முடியோம் செய்யாதன செய்யோம் தீக்குறளை சென்றோதும். We will not gossip. You may think, isn't that a good thing? I don't think there's any reason for us to gossip. What did the women of Vrindavan do with their 24/7? They always complained about Krishna. They sat there and they talked about how he was a thief, how he was a liar, how he was a cheater, how he was not true to any of the women there. They only spoke gossip about Krishna. Yes, it is not good for us to speak gossip about others, because all actions are done by the Lord. And so who are we to criticize the other when their action is also the Lord's action? We should not be criticizing. However, செய்யாதன செய்யோம் தீக்குறளை சென்றோதும், we will go gossip about Krishna. Of course we'll gossip about him. We'll talk all the bad things about him. Kalvan, Choran, we'll call him everything, every last bad word in the list, because that is again enjoyment of his qualities. Nobody calls him a thief and thinks, oh, we don't like him as a thief. We think of him as a thief because he's stolen our own heart. He is the thief of our heart. Butter refers to the soul of the milk. He has stolen our own souls. That's what it means when he has stolen butter. He has stolen us. That is what it means by தீக்குறளை சென்றோதும் செய்யாதன செய்யோம். We won't do what our elders haven't done. There are so many instances in our Acharya Parampara where our acharyas have broken the rules of the traditional way for the sake of the Lord's service. I can clearly mention one such story, in which Parasara Bhattar, he's an acharya, he is sitting on the banks of Kaveri. And at that time, Periya Perumal, Namperumal, the deity of Srirangam, is there sitting there. It is time to do the Sandhyavanam. In the Brahmin tradition, for Traivarnikas, it's very important to do the Sandhyavanam. It is considered if you don't do that, you are not even supposed to eat. You have to do that Gayatri Japa 3 times a day. And it was time for that Gayatri Japa. The sun was setting. It was time for that. His Sishya says, let's go do it. All our acharyas have done it. Parasara Bhattar says, இன்று விட்ட சந்தியாவந்தனம் யமன் கணக்கிடமாட்டான். It means that today the Sandhyavanam that we left, Chitraguptan or Yama will not keep that in count as a papam. Why? Because we are sitting here enjoying the qualities of the Lord. It's okay to break rules when it is in the thought process of we are going to enjoy the qualities of the Lord. Why? Because Yemberaman, Pallikonda Perumal, this Parkaral Payattu Indra Paraman is not focused on these rules. My Acharya specifically told me to say that he is not expecting us to follow these rules for thereby to grace us. He will grace us nevertheless. That is what he's doing. He is laying down on the ocean and he's always thinking about our Rakshanartham. He is always thinking about how he can protect us. That is the reason he's laying down so focused in the Padkadal. He's sitting here focusing on how am I going to protect this person? How am I going to protect that person? He is going to do that no matter what. For whom? Not just the people that are following these rules, but all of those people that are on this planet. And so not only this planet, all planets, so to speak. And so hence, none of these rules technically need to necessarily be followed when you are engaged in the service of the Lord, when you are knowing that the Lord is always there for us. We don't have to think that, oh, these rules are what is going to help us achieve the Lord. He himself is going to help us achieve him. He is going to make sure that whatever happens will happen. We don't have to think about, oh, let me go do this so then he can grace us. He is gracing us always, continuously, without a miss. Ayyamum pichayum mandanayum kayyati. I'm not going to put this along with the rules because it's always good to donate. It is important to not donate just with our hands, but also with our monetary benefit things, but to also share these meanings with everybody. It is not just for us. It is for Vaiyattu Vaalvirgal. It is for everybody in this world. Vaiyattu Vaalvirgal Let us all share these meanings with everybody. Andanayum kai ghaati, in abundance, let's share it. Let's not wait until only 8:30. Let's go over time and also share it. It's 8:34. I'll finish up. Let's think of these wonderful meanings. Let's think of Kadal Payyatuyenda Paraman, how he's sitting there, always there to protect us. Let's think about that. And let's not worry about the rules. It's okay. Let's think only about his grace. Let's not be focused on anything else. And with that, I will say today's Pasuram. வையத்து வாழ்வீர்கள் நாமும் நம்பாவைக்கு செய்யும் கிருஷைகள் கேளீரோ பார்க்கடலில் பையத்து என்ற பரமனடி பாடி நெய்யுண்டோம் பாலுண்டோம் நாட்காலே நீராடி மையற்றெழுதோம் மலரிட்டு நாம் முடியோம் செய்யாதனை செய்யோம் தீக்குழலை சென்றோதோம் ஐயமும் பிச்சையும் மாந்தனையும் கைகாட்டி உய்யவாரில் நீ உகந்தேரோரம் பாவாய். Please join tomorrow to learn how to become rich.
What? Become rich?
Yes, that's the topic for tomorrow.
You didn't say material rich. See,
you got the point.
Yeah.
You got the point.
Right?
What is the true richness?
Yeah, what is richness?
So again, Swami explained the Pasuram very nicely today. So essentially what Andal is saying is that, all these rules that we are following, it is out of gratitude. So Krishna doesn't expect, just like our mother doesn't feed us or doesn't take care of us, expecting these children will take care of me in return. No, that is not the reason why a mother takes care of the children. It is my duty. They are my children. It is natural for me to take care of them. That is the spontaneous love the mother has for the children. Krishna and Mother Radhika are our eternal parents. Our mother is like whatever. In this Janma, they have become our mothers. In our previous Janma, we would have had another person. But eternally, Mother Radhika and Krishna are our parents. So their love for us is spontaneous. Whether we want or not, they are just pouring. It is us, because of our agankara and mamakara, we are rejecting their love. And what is this? We are thinking that I have to do something to secure their grace. Andal is saying no. Krishna's grace is there always. And by our thinking, our thought process, our misconceptions, we are thinking, I am doing this, I am doing that to secure. That he's saying, and we are also developing a kind of ego. I have done this, therefore I am getting this. We don't do business with God. Very simple. God doesn't do business with us. Unconditionally, He is showering our grace. And all we have to do is we don't have to do anything to even receive. We just have to say, I don't want it. That is why our Acharya says that Thiruppavai, he says in one of his Pasuram, who are Bhagavadauttamas? He defines that, suppose if you are going to a temple and somebody says, no, I'm not coming. So long as he says, you don't go to the temple, that is enough. He must be considered as a Bhagavadauttama. So in that way, if you see, almost all the living beings in this world can be considered as Bhagavadauttamas. That is the definition of Bhagavadauttamas that she is giving. Then why are we following all? We all took bath and we came here. It is out of gratitude. So the Supreme Lord has done so much for us. Let me do something small for him. I know that all the Shastras are the do's and do nots that he has defined. And he likes when people follow those rules. That is why he has defined all these things. So out of gratitude, to some extent, let me follow that. So that should be the attitude that we are following. So when we do Nama Sankirtana, or when we do Aarti, all these things we are performing out of gratitude. You are going to give us the best of the best you have given us. And through the Sambandham of Acharya, you are going to give me the moksha. This is the great thing. Because of our connection with Acharya, we are going to get moksha that Maharishis and other people are doing tapas for many, many births. They are doing tapas. What they are going to get by the grace of Acharyas, we are going to get in this Janma itself. What a great benediction that Krishna is giving for us. For that sake, let me do something small. Whatever Nama Sankirtana, out of gratitude. That is the most important message that she is trying to say. The other thing is Vayattu Vadidva. She says, again, as I said yesterday itself, Andal was the queen in Vaikuntham, Sri Vaikuntham. But she wanted to be born as the daughter of Periyarvar. And she felt that this being a daughter of Periyarvar was more, it is something giving her more happiness than even being a queen in Vaikuntham. Why the reason is because of the Mangala Sasanam, the bhava of Mangala Sasanam that was expressed by Periyarvar. Again, when we say Periyarvar, We say Periyalvar, but she is the daughter of all the 10 Alvars. She is the one daughter of all the 10 Alvars who inherited all their wealth. So the mood of Mangala Sasana that is present in the Alvars, we cannot even see in any other scriptures. We cannot see it even in Vaikuntham. That is the greatness of this thing, and particularly the Achavadara form. So there is a Ida Purna Midam Purna Midaha Purnat Purna Mudachre Purnasya Purna Madaya Purna Meva Vishishita. 5 times this is a Upanishad Vyakhana. There are 5 times the word Purnam 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 is mentioned. This refers to the form of Lord who exists in 5 different forms, who becomes accessible in 5 different forms. The first Purnam is the Paravasudeva, that is in Vaikuntha. Then he talks about the Vyuha Vasudeva, the person who creates all this universe. Then the Achavadara, like as Rama Avadara and Krishna Avadara, he comes to us. So this is then he has Antaryami, he is within our hearts, and he is there as Antaryami. And finally is the Acha. So the Supreme Lord who has come right in front of us, accepting our services. No, whatever you want, you come and accept. That is the thing. And you don't have to, I will not talk to you. Because if he starts talking, he will start Bhagavad Gita, and we will all know, you know what will happen if somebody comes and starts Bhagavad Gita. Swami, 1 sloga, 2 sloga is enough. I have some other work. Let me go. But he said, you talk, I will listen. It is very difficult actually. Today, a lot of people are going for counseling and other things. What does the counselor do? He sits and listens to what we are talking. Okay, and it requires a lot of patience and a lot of thing to actually listen to people. And what is Perumal doing here? He is listening. You come and talk to me. You carry me. You give me a bath. So in this way, this Acha Perumal, this compassion that we are getting cannot be even seen. It is there. He is complete everywhere. But the way in which it is sparkling here in this deity form, it cannot be even experienced in Vaikuntha. That is the message that Andal is saying. And she wants to be born as the daughter of Periyalvar. And she wants to go to Vrindavanam and enjoy all the mischiefs that Krishna did. Even in Vaikuntham, they cannot experience this kind of the leelas that he performed. Alvars are, they will go in. Nammalvar goes into a trance when he says how you got bound by Mother Yasoda's rope. And not only did you get, Perumal will get bound to his devotees, but he will never compromise his Sri Devi, his wife Sri Mahalakshmi. So Nambala, he says that not only did you get bound, you got bound along with your wife. So the Yashoda put a rope around both his son and her daughter-in-law, Sri Mahalakshmi. Where can we see this kind of compassion? Where can we see Kannanam Chirittambinal Kattunna Panniya Perumayan? It is very, very, these leelas are all completely beyond any comprehension, even for the people who are living in Vaikuntha. So this is the message she's saying, and she's saying, you are all very fortunate, she's saying. She's celebrating all of us that, we are very fortunate. We are able to come here, together we are able to chant. And of course, as Swami rightly said, with the association of great acharyas who have given such wonderful commentaries, the Advars and, Swami, Kripalu Swami Maharaj and Mukundananda Swami, this kind of company is, truly, if you are not realizing, that means it is our own ignorance. That's all we can say. So that is the greatness of this thing. And it goes on and on. There is a beautiful commentary where Swami Adagamnavada Paramal Nayanar, he explains why here it is better than even Vaikuntha. And I will just throw one thing. It's a very elaborate commentary. But what happens is, we all know about Gajendra Moksha. Right? When Perumal wanted to come in a hurry, there Vishwakshenadvan is like the immediate servant of Perumal and Thayar. He goes and gives a sandal that is made of diamonds and golds. It is the protocol. Whenever Perumal has to leave his asthanam and come, he will offer the sandals which is made of diamonds and all kind of precious gems. Here Ramanujacharya, he was having this discourse on Sri Ramayana. At that point, the text says about how Lord Ram went to goes after the deer Maricha. So at that point, he did not have slippers because his sandals were given to Bharata. So he was going with his bare foot, and Lakshmana goes and then finds about Rama, and then both of them come searching. They all come. What is happening to Sita? That time he sees that Ram's foot has become very kind of it is almost burnt pink. The tender feet of Lord Ram. So when Ramanujacharya was reading this, he was saying, it is said that Lakshmana made out of grass and other leaves. He made a small path so that Lord Ram need not have to step on the hot grass or the hot sand. Instead, he can step on them. When Ramanujacharya was reading this, he started shedding tears. He says, I should have given my entire body to Lord Ram. His feet is so tender. What is this? I should have just given my whole body for him. So this is the bhava that he experienced after reading the works of Alvars and Thiruppavai of Andal. So people, he was offering, leaves, and people are offering diamonds and these things in those words. But people of this world, when Ramanujacharya experiencing the divine works of Alvars, he wanted to give his whole body actually as a path for Swami's lotus feet. So that is the kind of compassion that is coming out of the hearts because of the Achavadara. Because he was so associated with Lord Ranganatha. He saw Rama as not Rama but as Ranganatha. The compassion took over so much that he wanted to give himself in service of the state. So in this way, he goes on and on and on to explain why devotees in this world, like the Acharyas and the Alvars, who drank the compassion, the guna of compassion of the Supreme Lord, and how they are expressing it outside, we cannot experience even in Vaikuntha. It's a very beautiful commentary, and as Swami said, to that extent, we are all very fortunate here. We should consider very fortunate here. And with this message, we should. I'm praying to Lord Radhika and Andal and Rangamanna and Krishna and Radhika to give us more inspiration to serve them more and more.
Beautiful.
Radhe Radhe.
great idea.